Welcome, guys, to our podcast today. In our podcast today, we are going to delve into the issue of the Chelsea managerial situation. Chelsea Football Club are currently looking for the next head coach. Multiple sources, including Fabrizio Romano, are indicating that the former Tottenham Hotspur manager Mauricio Pochettino is the leading candidate to take over from Chelsea. Fabrizio also goes on to say that in the month of June, Mauricio Pochettino will be reporting to pre-season with Chelsea Football Club. Now, this appointment is quite controversial amongst Chelsea fans. A lot of fans actually have a problem with this because of the history that Chelsea has with Tottenham. A lot of fans feel that Mauricio Pochettino, being a former Spurs manager, should not be given the Chelsea job. However, I have contrary claims to this. My decision is that actually Mauricio Pochettino is the best fit for this job, compared to names such as Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. And in our podcast today, we are going to answer the questions that most of you have about the appointment of Mauricio Pochettino. Now, before we continue, I'd like to kindly ask you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. So, a lot of Chelsea fans have two issues with Mauricio Pochettino. The first issue is that Mauricio Pochettino did not win a league title or any trophy at Tottenham Hotspur. The second issue that they have is that Mauricio Pochettino has a problem dealing with player egos. I want to constructively deconstruct these two claims. The first thing that I have to talk about Mauricio Pochettino not winning titles. It's a fallacy because he won the league title at PSG. But yet again, a league title at PSG is not considered a big achievement because they normally start the season as favorites to win the league title. But my question comes here. Did he improve Tottenham Hotspur in the period that he was there? The answer is yes. In an interview with Jamie Carragher at Sky Sports, Jamie Carragher showed a statistic graph where he showed that actually Mauricio Pochettino, while at Southampton, averaged the most distance covered by a team. In the bottom of the list of that table was Tottenham Hotspur. Funny enough, when Mauricio Pochettino joined Tottenham Hotspur, he improved that team from being the team that covered the least distance in the Premier League to the team that actually covered the most distance in the Premier League. Another thing that we need to look at is the difficulties that Mauricio Pochettino underwent at Tottenham. Mauricio Pochettino worked under a very limited budget at Tottenham Hotspur. He played at Wembley Stadium for 2 seasons, neglecting his home advantage at Tottenham. Yet, he managed to get Tottenham in the top 4 consistently. In 2016, he finished the season 3rd. In 2017, he challenged Chelsea to the title and finished 2nd. It is agreed that during that period, Tottenham Hotspur were actually the best team in England. We are also going to delve into the successors of Mauricio Pochettino at Tottenham. Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho, serial winners, both managers who have won the Premier League titles, and Jose Mourinho's record in Europe. These two managers came to Tottenham Hotspur, were given budgets that even Mauricio Pochettino did not receive while at Tottenham. These two managers did not manage to win a single trophy at Tottenham. In the latest news that we had, when Conte made his final press conference before quitting Tottenham Hotspur, he deconstructed the management of the club. He also went further and said that the club is not interested in winning trophies rather than finishing in the top 4. And this was also a clear indication for Mourinho's departure. In an interview in Sky Sports, Pochettino remarks about not winning trophies at Tottenham. And I quote, he said this: "If you ask me, I want to win. Of course I want to win and build my CV. In the last 4 or 5 years, we played in 4 semi-finals, 1 final. We tried, we were close, and in the last 3 seasons, we are consistently playing in the Champions League. He went further and said, if you ask me, how can we help the club to be in the last level? It's about improving every season. We were so close, we need to try to keep working. The fans that are not happy, of course, with the perspective in the future, they are going to appreciate the job everyone is doing in the football club. My honest opinion in this is that Chelsea Football Club currently are in a position whereby they don't require to win titles. Currently, the position that Chelsea Football Club are in is that they need structure, organization, and discipline in the dressing room. Chelsea Football Club are currently below the Premier League table. They're actually in the second table of the Premier League. The Chelsea Football Club needs a manager who's able to instill a structure, discipline, so that they can go back and compete for the Champions League places. The Chelsea football team is bloated with a lot of players. They need a manager who's able to come in, identify the young players with future prospects, and build them so that they may be able to go back to winning titles. The other question that was asked about Mauricio Pochettino is that Mauricio Pochettino does not know how to deal with player egos. Again, this is something that I want to deconstruct. At PSG, in previous management, that is Unai Emery and Thomas Tuchel, we had outbursts in the PSG's dressing room. We had players like Neymar, Kylian Mbappe having outbursts in the dressing room. But in the entirety of Tottenham, in the entirety of Mauricio Pochettino's management at PSG, none of the outbursts were recorded. This showed that though they were players with high egos, Mauricio Pochettino managed to control the PSG dressing room. Again, Thomas Tuchel, his predecessor at PSG, emphasized that he was more of a politician, like a minister of sports. He aired his frustration that he was not able to coach effectively because at PSG, we had players who were egocentric, and therefore the manager had to let go of some of his principles to accommodate these players. Now, when we come to our situation at Chelsea, we don't have the Kylian Mbappes, the Neymars, and the Messis at Chelsea Football Club. We have the Modric, the Maduekes, the Christian Pulisic, the Kai Havertz. None of these players have the ego to match those of Kylian Mbappe and Neymar. So these young players do not have the ego to disrupt a dressing room, and therefore you expect that they will follow keenly onto the principles of Mauricio Pochettino, which are high pressing and possession football. Another thing, the top senior players at Chelsea Football Club are the most professional football players that you are ever going to meet. You don't expect N'Golo Kante to be making egocentric choices and experiences in the dressing room. Thiago Silva, being the most senior player in the dressing room and probably the next captain of Chelsea Football Club upon the departure of Cesar Azpilicueta in the summer, is the most professional player in football that I know. So these senior players, together with a team of young, inexperienced players, are key in a Mauricio Pochettino system. These senior players, are examples to those young players that you have to follow the manager's instructions. Now, I want to commend Todd Boehly for making this appointment. Why do I think that Mauricio Pochettino is the best for Chelsea Football Club? In a video that I did about Mauricio Pochettino's tactics, we can clearly see that Mauricio Pochettino draws his tactical philosophy from his previous manager, Marcelo Bielsa. Mauricio Pochettino's key training strategy emphasizes on synthesis of preparation, hard work, rigid training and techniques, fast vertical football, and pressing. Mauricio Pochettino is Marcelo Bielsa dogmatic in pressing. His teams are usually super fit and they're pressing. In an interview, Dani Osvaldo, a former Pochettino player, said, "He makes you suffer like a dog, and at that time you'll hate him for it." He remembered. "But by the Sunday, you are grateful because it works." Jack Koch also said that a player who plays for Mauricio Pochettino needs two hearts because Mauricio Pochettino's team are known to be extremely fit. He likes to work with young players. Why does he like to work with young players? He works with young players because the young players give energy to the team. They are less prone to injury and they are fast. At Chelsea Football Club, we are in a situation whereby the team has a lot of young and promising players. We have players like Reece James. We are expecting Marco Gusto in the summer to deputize him at right back. We have the likes of Ben Chilwell, Wesley Fofana, Timo Badiashile, Chalobah, Enzo Fernandez, Modric, Madueke, João Felix, and Kai Havertz. All these are young players who are willing to absorb a manager's tactics and practice them. These young players can be improved by Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino has a record of improving young players, and this started at his first job in Espanyol. The development of Felipe Coutinho at Espanyol is attributed to Mauricio Pochettino. At Southampton, Mauricio Pochettino improved the like of Sadio Mane into one world-class forward who played for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. At Tottenham, he improved Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, Eric Dyer, Philip Lallana, and removed Harry Kane from the fourth-choice striker and converted him into one of the best centre forwards in Europe. We can clearly see that Mauricio Pochettino has a key to unlock young players' potential. Mauricio Pochettino prefers working with young players. Young players are able to understand his tactics and are able to play for him. My personal belief is that Mauricio Pochettino can improve the likes of Modric. These players in attack and the likes of Kai Havertz will benefit from Mauricio Pochettino's tactics. Mauricio Pochettino is also known to be a great man manager. He is the manager who is able to put a hand over the player and explain to him where he is going wrong and what he needs to do to get it right. Mauricio Pochettino is also known for his discipline and how he regards indiscipline in the dressing room. If a player fails to do what Mauricio Pochettino does and disrespects him, Mauricio Pochettino ostracizes the player out of the team and forces him out. This ensures that all the other players who are in the team toe the line. This will ensure that Mauricio Pochettino has a clear hold of the dressing room. So, I want to deconstruct this claim that Mauricio Pochettino has issues handling players' egos. We can clearly see from his past experiences that he has managed to hold the dressing room together. Mauricio Pochettino, from a financial standpoint, is also good for Chelsea Football Club. He's known to work under a limited budget. Todd Bowley, in his investment, regarded that he wanted to make investments in young players and get a manager who's able to work with those young players and improve them. This manager, in improving those players, will enable Chelsea Football Club not to spend a lot of money in the subsequent coming summer periods. Yet again, this manager is able to ensure that Chelsea finish in the Champions League places at a consistent basis. Why is this so? Chelsea Football Club wants to remodel Stamford Bridge. They want to rebuild Stamford Bridge, and therefore they need a manager who is able to work within his means with young, promising, talented players and ensure that finances that would have been used in the transfer market are being able to can be diverted in the use of constructing of Stamford Bridge. Another thing that I'd also like to demystify is that Mauricio Pochettino is not an elite manager. Pep Guardiola refers to Mauricio Pochettino as one of the best managers in the world. Personally, I feel that he overachieved at Tottenham. Despite the harsh conditions that he had at Tottenham, he still managed to put them in a title race. We know the history of Tottenham. Tottenham are not a club that have been known to be winning league titles. But Mauricio Pochettino transformed Tottenham from the best of the rest to one of actually the top 6 sides in the Premier League. Most success in Tottenham is attributed to Mauricio Pochettino. Players with ego such as Lukaku, Ziyech and Pulisic are not destined to be at Chelsea Football Club next season. I anticipate that Mauricio Pochettino will come to Chelsea and effectively establish his dominance. I expect him to introduce rigid and vigorous training at pre-season. This is something that we lacked this season in the league. Mauricio Pochettino ensures that his teams are ready for the new season, ensuring there is constant hard work. They are physically fit before the season started. Graham Potter, in his mid-season appointment at Chelsea Football Club, lamented of how Chelsea were not ready for the season. I also noticed this in the 4-0 defeat to Arsenal. Most of the Chelsea players were not fit by the start of the season, and therefore Thomas Tuchel's pressing strategies and instructions were not clearly adhered to. But when you come to Mauricio Pochettino, his first task in pre-season is ensuring that players get a 2 weeks fitness training session. This includes constant running and other training drills. He is so meticulous in his training tactics and skills, and therefore ensures that players are able to keep fitness in training and therefore improve. You might find that a lot of Chelsea players will become slender because of the vigorous training, but you'll expect Chelsea to be hunters on the pitch. I expect to see Chelsea being a team that is able to press consistently in the 90 minutes period. I expect to find Chelsea a team that is able to dominate possession, make rotations on the pitch, create overloads on the pitch, and score more goals. I don't find anyone who is better than Mauricio Pochettino to improve this. Chelsea Football Club needs a structure. Chelsea Football Club needs organization. Chelsea Football Club needs discipline. The young players need to be integrated into the team well and smoothly. No other person I see who can do that than Mauricio Pochettino. So, do I think Mauricio Pochettino will make Chelsea win the titles? That is something that we can see from the future. But my understanding is that I expect him to improve Chelsea Football Club, at least get them back to the Champions League places. I expect, because he is working with young players who are not egocentric, that these players will accept his tactical philosophy and therefore improve themselves. I expect that he will be given time to enshrine his tactical understanding of the game. I look forward to the Mauricio Pochettino era, and every Premier League fan looks forward to this era. I want to thank you for staying with us till the end of these podcasts, and I wish you well.